Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Lose Takes. We got a special guest. Would you say live from the liquor store?
Live from the liquor store, man.
Go on and introduce yourself.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. And hey, I'm happy to be here this fine Saturday morning, man. Tapping in with my boy Lou's Take, and we gonna bring y'all some unadulterated Dallas Cowboys content this morning, man. So you might as well go ahead and pour you up a little skeet taste. Don't need to get too drunk, but it is the weekend, man. You can let your hair down.
Yeah, hey, whatever you got to do. We got a big game this week. You know what I'm saying? We've been putting in work. It's a lot of stuff we got to debug, you know what I'm saying, go through. That's why we put in that work. But listen, last week was a blur. You know what I'm saying? It was a blur. It was a lot going on last week. So I want to just start off. Just give me your thoughts, like from last week and Trick, and why and who you paying attention to, like transitioning to this week in this game.
All right, so last week for me, I know a lot of people were disgusted by the run defense, of that game. But in my humble opinion, what really got the Dallas Cowboys in the hole was the big play with the chunk plays in the passing game more so than the rushing attempts,
Mhm.
right? Because when you actually go back and you look at that game, they only had 6 rushes for 21 yards when the Dallas Cowboys were down 21-6. So they scored 3 touchdowns with 21 rushing yards. It was the 70-yard bomb, the 50-yard play, the 54-yard screen that got the Dallas Cowboys down like that. Now listen, once you were in the hole, the run defense did not allow the Dallas Cowboys to dig themselves out of it, but they got in the hole based on the explosive plays they gave up in the passing game off of play action. And really, a lot of what they did was max protect, 2-man routes, and really your linebackers did a very piss poor job of getting enough depth when they were in zone. So
Yeah,
correcting that is going to be just as big of an important standard in winning this game than actually sewing up the run defense.
yeah. We need to be more fundamentally sound this game. You're 100% correct. There's two-man routes. We can't get beat when we're in too high and there's one post going beat. I'm going deep. Nothing to occupy any safety's eyes. There was no three-level concepts. It was just. I wish the corner would get his hands on Rashid, to slow him up just a bit. But I think overall, what pissed me off about last week is the effort. I feel like if we give more effort, and you hear coaches talk about it all the time. It's something you can't coach. It's something you gotta. It's just a know-how. You get out the bed early in the morning. You gotta, you know what I'm saying. You got to make your mind up and say that I'm finna get to this spot. I'm gonna beat my man to this spot. So yeah, you are 100% correct. Is there like what? So the storylines we've been hearing, because I did not like the run defense. You're saying in the past. What is something that we're gonna definitely have to shore up when facing? And it's gonna go into the first topic, like this Ravens offense we got coming in.
Well, for me, man, I think it's a different kind of animal when we're talking about the Ravens and their offensive play sets, and when you compare it to what we just seen from Kubiak.
Mhm.
The Ravens deploy way less motion than the uh, than the Saints do.
Saints. Hmm.
Yeah, they also aren't as exotic with their personnel groupings. With the Saints, it was all about the multiplicity of the package they could put out there. You could bring Rashid out, and you could bring Taysom Hill out. You really don't know where the hell they're gonna line up at.
Hmm.
Shaheed could line up in the backfield to take a handoff. We know that Taysom Hill could be a fullback, a running back, a tight end, a quarterback.
Quarterback.
He could do your taxes on the weekends, like. So it was really with them. It was about the duplicity of the personnel packages, handling the motion, and being disciplined. And getting proper depth off the play action. Those are coming. Stretch zone play action off of that. Those have always been staple in that style of West Coast offense that Shanahan's deployed. Right, it is for the Shanahan coaching tree. More so with the Baltimore Ravens, you know what you're going to get, man. They're damn near predictable.
Yes.
If they line up in pistol, they're going to probably run the ball. If they line up under center, it's going to be a run or a play action pass. He usually is not just doing a straight drop back from being straight under center. So a lot of the things that they do that is telegraphed.
Mhm.
And when you also talk about the multiplicity, they don't really have the same caliber of weapons. It's crazy to say that,
Yeah.
but they really don't have the same caliber of weapons as say the Saints. So the Saints do got a real deal number one wide receiver. They got a speed merchant and Shaheed. Takes the hill, does a little bit of everything. Alvin Kamara with the with the Ravens, man. Like outside of like Zay Flowers, you really don't fear any of those other wide receivers over there. Now the tight end room is immaculate.
Mhm.
I like Likely, I like Mark Andrews, what they bring. They deadly over the middle. Likely is an athlete, so catch and run with him is gonna be. You got to get him on the ground. But when you talk about explosiveness, I believe like the Saints have more explosive players than what the Baltimore Ravens currently have.
Yeah, you 100% correct. What I noticed about this offense, they desperately need to stay on schedule. They have to get into those third and shorts, so second and shorts. If they don't, they become very, very linear, very, very predictable. They're gonna trot Justice Hill out there, like I said last night. They're gonna run, some type of screen, some type of route tree, and you can tell it's gonna be a check down because Bateman is good for like one or two catches if he can beat you deep.
Indeed, man. Indeed.
And then Bateman he's the only deep threat. He's good for only I would say one or two catches a game. Zay Flowers, in my opinion, Zay Flowers he has the ability to get behind you, but will he have time for to get behind you? Because one thing we gotta put out there, they got three offensive linemen that they rotate: the left guard, the right guard, and the right tackle. If you go in the Ravens camp, the fans are been saying the same thing, that this is a major concern. This would have been limiting their offense this season, because their offense has been very disappointing as well, because they added the Derrick Henry, and they thought their offense was going to get to another step, especially in the run game. But the decline from the running back, I mean, from the offensive line standpoint, and how they have it's just a turnstile. They're just rotating guys. There's no cohesion in the steps. There's no cohesion in communication, and don't even get me started on their pass protection. You see, it really shocked me in the first game, because it was just a lot of uh, flare screens, bubble screens, which is really an extension of the run game. And they're just desperate, and when they try to attempt to, do a 3 or 5 step drop, which is the deeper drops, the pass protections and the half slides were terrible. The gap protections were terrible. And the only true stud they have in the O line is Linderbaum, who I respect, and Stanley. But yeah, like they become they become very, very linear. That's why I'm keying in on our D tackles. So yeah.
I agree with you, man. And just for the folks at home, we'll simplify it for you. Left side good Ravens, right side bad, right side horrible. So if you want to know where you want to line Michael Parsons up, or if you want to try and get the pass routes off of, play some game, bring some stunts, try the right side first.
Try the right side, yes.
Yeah,
Try the
right side first.
For facts. But is it so? Or do you fear? Because I feel like that's what I noticed in the first game is Lamar Jackson's playmaking ability.
I mean, listen, Lamar Jackson is a dynamic athlete. He's a great runner with the football. So, but the thing that we got to remember with the Dallas Cowboys, we have speed on our side as well. So I don't know what that would look like this week. I'm not sure they're really going to spy Michael Parsons, but you got two guys that can at least attempt to run with Lamar Jackson. You got Michael and you got Overshown. And then if you want to play those games, you want to bring some pressure from the safeties, you can always bring Donovan Wilson, who was a guy that had 5 sacks from that position at one point. I think it was like 2 years ago. I think that really what got him paid. So you got different athletes that you could try and match up with Lamar Jackson. Will you completely neutralize Lamar Jackson throughout the course of 4 quarters? I don't believe so. But can you contain Lamar Jackson and minimize some of the things that he does with his legs? I believe you can also do that. And one of my critiques this last game was I think the Dallas Cowboys played a little bit too much zone, given what we were doing. This is actually a game I don't mind seeing zone, because I want eyes on Lamar Jackson. I'm going to force Lamar Jackson to throw into those zones, mix it up, throw some cover 4 out there, throw some cover 3, throw some cover 6, whatever you want to do out there. Switch up the zones he's throwing into, make him actually play quarterback and find those creases in the zone and see if your pass rush can't get there. Because like we just talked about, if you make Lamar Jackson hold the football, given the inability of their offensive line to protect, you'll probably get home.
Mm-hmm. I'll see it this week. So talk about the coaches from the philosophy standpoint. Zim, what is the scheme? You talked about we should go man. Do you see more pressures? Because I didn't like how we didn't really get a chance to, but we should have pressured more. I think, in my opinion, I want to see more maybe safety blitzes. Maybe you can limit Donovan Wilson's snaps in coverage. Maybe bring him down because he's a downhill type. Well, let's attack that right side of the offensive line. Let's get him one-on-one with an athlete in Lamar Jackson. What do you think about that?
I agree with you, man. I would. And listen, something that folks aren't talking about: the Dallas Cowboys aren't blitzing much at all. They called the cover 0% up to this point in the first 2 games. Like you just look at what they're calling. Like they're barely running man at all, and they're barely blitzing at all as well. So I would switch it up, especially since you don't have that many natural pass rushers on your team anymore. Right? You already lost Sam Williams for the season. Dorrance Armstrong, he may have just been a high effort sack guy that did the cleanup duty. Well, that still was 7.5 sacks that walked out the door that you did not replace. Dante Fowler, who was a natural pass rusher, he is also gone playing with the Commanders. Mm-hmm. So when you tally everything up, that's like 15, 16 sacks that are missing from the Dallas Cowboys from last year.
Right.
And we really ain't got nobody to replace that. Mm-hmm. Nealon is young. He coming out of college. He ain't a natural pass rusher. He doesn't really have a whole bag just yet, but he's a high effort guy. So I don't really know where the Dallas Cowboys get the pressure that we're talking about outside of when Michael Parsons wins, unless you blitz.
Yeah.
And they haven't really done that up to this point.
Mm-hmm. So let me get through some of these chats and just address it. If we lose Sunday, it's going to be hard to make the playoffs. The Giants next week. To address this, I would say this is one of the games I circled on the calendar, regardless of how the Ravens look, because the pedigree of the Ravens speaks for itself. This is a great test, especially for us being a young team. I would say if we lose, it's about how we lose. If it's another blowout, then it's going to be some big changes that I don't want to hear no excuses from the Joneses that they have to make. I've already hearing reports about a wide receiver too. It better be a DT as well. Like we need to start making some trades. We gotta start doing the uncomfortable. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. What do you feel? How important is this game on the schedule?
Well, we'll know how important it is right before kickoff because the Eagles play the Saints in New Orleans. So if the Eagles get their heads beat in and they fall to 1 and 2, you got a little bit more leeway. And what can and cannot happen to you, right? Because losing to the Saints is a double-edged sword for the Eagles. Because not only did they lose an NFC team, they also would lose to a like opponent, right? So Dallas Cowboys haven't played the Falcons yet, so they'll go down 2 games in the NFC. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like if we could reverse fortunes for the Dallas Cowboys playoff odds, it was probably better for the Dallas Cowboys to lose to Cleveland and find a way to beat the Saints. Because they are actually in the NFC. Those tiebreakers matter, especially when you're a team with aspirations to get the number 1 seed. Yeah. I know folks hyped up the Cleveland game, were rolled underdogs, and we weren't supposed to be in the game. Nobody picked us to win, all that stuff. That shit don't matter. That's media talking points. It really only matters with the tiebreakers in between you and the other teams in the NFC East because everybody in the NFC East played the AFC North this year. But outside of that, like winning your NFC games is more important. Now, I agree with you on this. Depending on if the Dallas Cowboys lose, because you got to remember, the Dallas Cowboys are 12-2 after losses, right? Mm-hmm. They are 12-2 after losses. Those 2 losses, by the way, was the Thanksgiving loss when you didn't have CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper. Your primary 2 wide receivers were Michael Gallup and Cedric Wilson.
That's the Raiders game?
Raiders game. Lost in overtime to Derek Carr. That was the game that everybody hated Anthony Brown. He got all those, you know what I'm saying? That was the Anthony Brown game. And then the other loss after a loss was last year against the Miami Dolphins, and your team had a lead in the fourth quarter, was a walk-off field goal.
Hmm.
So even when they lose, it's a close game, and I can live with that. If you lose by a last-second field goal, if if your offense walk off the field with a lead, and somehow the defense gives up some zany ass play to lose, I can sleep better at night with that than losing by 20 plus points or losing by 40 points. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think they also would feel better. Like, at least we competed. We can match up with these other good teams, and it is what it is. But I do feel like confident in Dallas Cowboys winning this game. Actually,
Yeah. I mean, you right. Like, I want them to fight. That's all. That gives me something to build upon schematically, psychologically, X's and O's. It gives me something to build upon. Especially we got y'all. I don't think y'all understand. We're one of the youngest teams in the league.
yes,
Especially, we're starting a lot of young guys. A lot of young guys. So it's key. I am just happy they're getting reps. As long as we can keep it from happening last week. That's what happens when you have a bunch of young guys and they don't understand the week to week grind and we don't do what we're supposed to do. We get smacked like that. But if we competing every week, we're building their confidence, and in turn, you're building more confidence in content creation. Shout out to all the content creators. Shout out EJ. I was
it's
on this
still to
show.
EJ, man.
Yeah. Shout out. Actually, if you wherever you watch, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hey, make sure you just do your part. Hey, you commenting, sharing your takes is doing your part. If you ain't got nothing else, in my opinion, you could have been anywhere else on your Sunday afternoon, and you chose to be here. But he's 100% correct. This is a game where you maybe miss Curse a little bit. Curse, in my opinion, I understand the size. You talking about for these double tight end sets? These was it 12 personnels and
Mm-hmm.
22 personnels? I feel you, and I don't. This is where I have Wanye, and you got Marquise Bell. I feel like they can do the same. I mean, he's long and lengthy. I understand he can hang with the tight ends, but yeah, I listen. I know everyone's scared of the tight end room, but you gotta understand this: they're not two traditional tight ends. The only true to this traditional tight end is Mark Andrews.
Correct.
Isaiah Likely is not really a tight end. Isaiah Likely is just a bigger receiver, right?
Pretty much with how he
Yeah.
play. Yes, he
And
he there, John Stevens Jr.
yeah, like he's a hell of a route runner. Uh, I feel like the questions with him was the physicality, but he got a couple of highlight blocks. But you just gotta if the Cowboys, and I hope Zim is doing this, he's treating every time Isaiah Likely's on the field as another receiver, and maybe putting a taller DB, a taller safety on him, we'll be just fine. He said, I think this is your guy here. He said he's doing his part.
Appreciate it, Joe. My boy tapping in for Italy, man.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. And then I see Lamar for big passes down the field, test the corners. Look, only time he does that, in my opinion, because this is a team we just mentioned. They struggle to even have the time to buy the time to get downfield. If you watch their games, there's a lot of the check downs and flare screens. Only way Lamar can get downfield is with his playmaking ability, and if we're not staying true to scramble rules, which is all low routes go high, all high routes go low, and get into the quarterback's field of vision.
Correct, correct. And this is the thing, man. Like, the Dallas Cowboys have to be better on third down. You know what I'm saying? To get these teams off the field, right? Because last week they only, first and foremost, the Saints only saw third down 8 times in 4 quarters. So one, they were having no problem moving the ball, and when they did get the third down, they were 5-8. So guess what? You got to force more third down opportunities for your defense. So you got to win on early downs. And secondly, when you do get to those third down opportunities, you got to get off the field. I'm not saying you should shut them out on third down, but if there's 8 opportunities to get off the field, you need to get off the field five of those times. It need to be inverted. It need to be three or 8 on third down instead of 5 or 8 on third down. You got to do your part to put your offense back on the field, and if you're allowing them to continue to convert third downs, they're winning. They're going to win time of possession. Like the Saints had a drive last week that damn near lasted the entire third quarter. So you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. And that's why I even more of an emphasis on the third down. Win the first and second down. If you win the first and second down, third and long, we can put up that shell. It's a check down. Let's swarm. You know what I'm saying? So like that's you do your work. You do it right. You do it light. You do your work early. It'll be easy for you in the end. That's on the offensive too. If we put in the work early, we get in the third and shorts. Look, the playbook go from here to here. We can call it almost anything. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, football really ain't that hard. I'm not gonna tell you. It's hard, but it's not hard. If you do your work, it's easier said than done. But you see what I'm saying though. Testing digs. Listen, shout out to landlord and boss because they brought it up that the corners did not have a good game last. They didn't have a good game last game.
They did, especially in run support.
So, and I feel like they will get tested this week because, like I said, they like to throw it on flare screens, bubble screens, and Zay Flowers is a guy they want the ball in his hands because he can do something with it. So, yeah, they're gonna have to get their face mask dirty this game.
Oh, another thing we should be talking about: you cannot put your offense behind the stick with penalties. Offensive linemen, I know you're young. I know my boy Tyler Guyton had a couple holding penalties that derailed a couple drives, but you have to be better. It's hard in the NFL to get 10 yards. Imagine trying to get 20 yards. And this is a double-edged sword too, because Mike McCarthy, I don't want to see not no damn run on 1st and 20. You got to get 20 yards, my guy. If you get behind the sticks, damn it, I know it's not ideal, but you're going to have to trust your quarterback, your all-pro quarterback at that to get you out of that hole. If it's 1st and 20, I want Dak Prescott either throwing the screen, taking a 10-yard completion. You better not run the damn ball for 2 yards on 1st and 20, Mike. You my guy. I believe in your offense. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen film of you getting people open. But Mike, stop that shit. Don't you dare run the ball on no 1st and 20 no more, man.
I mean, when he does that, I that's like a sign of defeat. Like that's giving up on the drive when we're still in the midst of the drive. So yeah, he's a keep the name matter. No one else. Oh my god. Okay. Is Jadeveon Clowney available? Who? I think he's on.
Can he play defensive tackle?
We don't need. Conservative Texan. How have you? Okay, hold on.
I think he played for the Panthers. So everything probably for sale over there right now.
Shout out to Mama. Who's on the hot seat this week?
Shit, Zim.
If we lose, and I would say like because if the Ravens lose, man, I don't think it's Harbaugh, but some maybe the old coordinator, even though he just got there.
Yeah, I think the coordinator. Because listen, they haven't scored over 25 points in either game. It's been 20 points, and then they scored 23 against the Raiders. So they're averaging about 21 points a game right now. So if anybody's on the hot seat, it'd probably be Monken. It'd probably be Todd Monken.
Yeah. My bad, boy. All right. And we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna move right on to the offense. My opinion is more on talent and coaching. You can't win a race if you don't have the runners. Speaking on that, I kind of disagree. It's on the players. It's on the wait. You said it's on the coaching staff. It's more of both. I don't know. I don't want to know where I want to lean because last week I feel like if effort was if it was greater from their end, we don't collapse, right? I feel like they done a lot of things from the coach's perspective last week to put them in the right spots. For instance, the defensive tackles. No, Zim can't save you from getting turned around and push off the ball 15 yards down the field. Zim Zim actually tried to save you when he went barefront, and I kept emphasizing y'all. He went barefront from our own 20-yard line. That's a disgrace to the interior because he's trying to do all he can to free up his linebackers. Because the O line from the New Orleans Saints, they were just foregoing their duo blocks. It ain't no reason to when one guy's moving you. So let's go on and move up. So in order to do that, he committed more guys to the point of attack in the line of scrimmage. So from an example like that.
Now listen, I'll say this, and also I got some elevation news from the Dallas Cowboys. Todd Archer is reporting the Dallas Cowboys are elevating linebacker Nick Vigil again, and they're also going to be the first sighting of Carl Lawson. So Carl Lawson has been elevated. Nick Vigil, no Dalvin Cook this week, but we will get a brand new defensive end, and you will get more linebacker depth with Nick Vigil. Listen, I'm not too sure what the health of Monty Smith is. I know he ain't been practicing with a back issue. We know that Jordan Phillips got politely benched. Because listen, if they put you on IR and you like, I'm not even hurt. Like, yes, you are. if that is the conversation, you were politely benched. It's just the fact that, hey, I can't cut you right now. I might need you later. So let's put your ass on ice for a couple weeks and see if we can come back to you. But
I think the Carl Lawson is huge, though. We're putting a lot on our rookies, especially Marshawn Nealon. He's getting a lot of reps. So if anything, a veteran presence. Hopefully, he can be a positive veteran presence, and not like Jordan Phillips, and not getting blown off the ball, giving us effort. If he can take just a couple of maybe 15 or 20 snaps off of Marshawn Nealon, a fresher version of him, maybe we get more from the pass rush from him because he's already a hell of a run defender. So I kind of saw this coming. I thought like the first one to be, the first big name from the practice squad to be, called up would be either Flournoy, which I wish it was.
Flournoy on the active roster.
He's on. He did.
He made a 53-man roster. He just been inactive on game day.
So hopefully, I want him to be active, or I would be thinking of Dalvin Cook. But I'm committed to that. So whatever we need to do, hopefully everyone comes in, plays sound. But let's transition to the offense.
Okay.
How did you feel the offense played last week? And in transition, what do you want to see from this week?
I need to see more touchdowns. And this is the thing, the Dallas Cowboys offense moved the ball between the 20s. You know what I'm saying? That's why they were able to score on 4 of their first 5 possessions. The only time they did not score was when Jalen Brooks slipped and it turned to an INT. But they either kicked the field goal or scored a touchdown. It was only 1 touchdown. But they either kicked the field goal or scored a touchdown on 4 of their first 5 possessions. Really, 5 of their first 6 if you go into the into the first possession on the second half. So they moved the ball and they scored points. The issue was, that there was some miscommunications. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb weren't on the same page on a touchdown pass. Dak Prescott had too much pressure in his face to drop it off to Ezekiel Elliott, who probably could have walked in for a touchdown on one play. The wheel route to Rico Dow maybe should have been pass interference. You could argue that it was a slightly underthrown ball by maybe like a half a yard. Either way, the Dallas Cowboys got to be a little bit more crisp on offense and get into the red zone. But that's really the only critique, because even with the misses and this and that, Dak Prescott started like 20 or 23 or some crazy shit for a touchdown. Like he still put up a decent performance until the game got out of hand. You know what I'm saying? My only issue is the running game, because at this point they're not even actively trying to stop the run. They're playing cover 2 or cover 4, whatever the 2 high safety shell may be. They might even swap it up and play cover 6. But point being, they're playing 2 high safety shells, daring the Dallas Cowboys to run the football. And even when facing light boxes, the Dallas Cowboys are one of the worst teams in running the football. When you look at yard per attempt, yards over expectation, it's not good.
Yeah.
So if you can't run the ball when they don't even care about stopping the run, what are you gonna do when they actually put a safety in the box?
Pass it. But because like you are 100% correct. What I've seen, I feel like the run game, there's something there. Um, the cohesion of the O line. This is a new offensive line. We installed two guys. It's a process. You know, it
Takes
can't
time.
happen. It takes time. Their footwork is a bit wonky. They're stepping over each other. BB been on the ground. How many times? Like, I'm just praying he don't get hurt or nothing. But like,
Exactly.
then there's been some regression that we thought that was sure up. We thought it was like locked in. Zach Martin has not looked like his normal, like high pedigree self, which I predicted because last year I thought he was starting to regress just a tad bit, but he's looking more and more like,
He's human, man.
yeah, he's human. Like he ain't Superman no more. And then Terrence Steele is Terrence Steele. Like it's
Let's not
age
talk.
with
Let's not even talk about
yeah,
Terrence
like
Steele right now.
it's
We're gonna.
so
Whew.
if they can get the cohesion, I believe will save and hide a lot of their deficiencies. If we're getting unison, like they're getting like on duo blocks, like it was a block with him, Cooper Beebe, and Tyler Smith early in the game. And if they get the block, the hole was there, but the number five, the safety comes down, and Tyler Smith, his nose is just so in on the block, he doesn't peel off and takes the linebacker. And that's the difference between a 3 to 5 yard game and a 5 to 7. You 100 these problems like that is going to be cleaned up because if you don't have a run game, you're not going to be efficient in the red zone. Because the most important thing you need in the red zone is a run game, especially with the shrink down field. Like the safeties are not no longer like 15 to 20 yards. They're right there. So you need to keep them honest, and you not having a steady and respectable run game. That's why we're struggling. So I want to see from this game is how they handle the situational stuff. Can we maintain um, a steady drive and not get when we need this drive? Can we not get shoot ourselves in the foot? Can we constantly get into the third and shorts? So yeah,
Hopefully.
and then and it's been our running backs ain't been having good vision either.
Yeah.
Mainly just like Rico and Deuce. But Rico really ain't got no good vision, man. It's like that first. I think if you saw it, the very first run, like he hits it inside, it was an outside zone, and if he just kept going outside, the whole man, he had I don't know, man. Like I only can tell you what I think the running back should be reading because he has like 3 to 4 reads, and
Mm.
I just feel like he's just so anxious to prove himself this year. Now it's overcrowding his game and everything like that, but we're gonna definitely need some type of run game because this team we're facing, this defense we're facing is pretty good, but they're valuable in one area. They're the worst team in the league so far in defending
The
the
pass.
the play action pass. Eh.
Yeah. So for context, the Ravens D have given up the most passing yards in the National Football League with 567 through 2 games. They're allowing a completion percentage of 75.8, and they're also allowing 8.6 yards per attempt, which is top three as well. So I know it's the play action pass, but it's also passing in general. Like they haven't done well. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not. I don't know because they got pass rushers. You know, they got a guy on their team that had 13 and a half sacks last year from the defensive tackle spot. So I'm not really sure why they're struggling in the pass game the way that they have been, but they're struggling, and that's one of the reasons why they haven't won a game yet.
What I seen on the film is that they're very antsy to stop the run. Like they're very good versus the run. So their safety, I mean not their linebackers, especially 23 and even was it Roquan Smith, they're
Mm-hmm.
like every snap they taking a step or half a step forward. And that's why you have games where Travis Kelsey would go off, or even the rookie Brock Bowers is going off. The tight end position is going to feast, but you can only imagine that the counter to that is putting their great safety and having him carry out a couple of more routes than Kyle Hamilton. I want to I want to stay away from him, but I feel like we can. I feel like what I talked about with Zach Martin. I think what's their corner name? 44.
Are you talking about Marshawn Humphrey?
Humphrey. I
Marlon
think
Humphrey.
Marlon Humphrey is not as strong, especially in the one on one. Right. So this can be a good wide receiver two, wide receiver three game because they're gonna automatically they're gonna bracket us. They're gonna try their best to take away CD, but the one thing that can, if we can run on this team, I will have a lot of confidence because this is a very good, disciplined defensive line. They got Van Noy. They got a huge D tackle, y'all. Y'all gonna see it on Sunday. 58 Pierce. That man right there is huge, man. BB got his work cut out for him, but I don't want nobody else doing that job right there. But yeah, let me see. Let me see if we got any more of these chats. You said we take an L tomorrow. What? About getting slapped to the water
What's up down here, Neil? That's my boy right there, man.
Yeah. So, you got anything else on this offense? Like, what do you want to see from Dak? Dak got a chance to really like prove a lot of people wrong because this is the guy he lost the MVP to. What do you want to see from Dak?
I just need Dak Prescott to be Dak Prescott on Sunday, man. Like honestly, I need you to be smart with the football. I need you to take your layups, and I also need you to make the big plays when they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the miscommunication with Lamb, I understand that y'all ain't had a lot of time on task together because of the holdout, but you got to get shit like that together. Now, I don't necessarily think that changed the outcome of that game, but in a game like this, like you got to hit your deep balls. You got to make sure to protect the ball. But I think Dak Prescott would do that, man. Dak Prescott normally bounces back and have multiple good games in a row after a so-so showing. So, and like I was saying, even up to that point, right? Even with how bad the Dallas Cowboys got beat, Dak Prescott threw for almost 300 yards. He completed 69% of his passes, which is amazing. And one of those picks was even his fault. Jalen Brooks just slipped on the turf monster, and the ball went to the DB. The last one came, he just threw a frustration pick trying to get back in the game. So if the game is close, I expect Dak Prescott to play at the All-Pro level that I know that he can. But just be decisive with the football. Don't make too many mistakes. We'll be fine.
They said that the DT I'm talking about is 415. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, he looked like
Just
a
a creative
big
player at this point.
a big. Yeah, I want Dak to be the cerebral quarterback that he is in this game. I think he needs to do a better job of being. I don't know what's the words for it, but he knows how to stay calm and stay collected. But he needs to do a better job of like communicating that to his team and like they don't be antsy. So just manage it from that standpoint, just taking it slowly. I know they give him a lot of checks, a lot of freedom at the line. I just want a very efficient game. I want an emphasis on the stay on schedule. Just something different because this game is very much important. I want an effort. I just want everything. I want a difference in mentality because people talk about the schematics that beat us. No, it's teams come in here and they're gonna refuse to back down and they're gonna come test your manhood, test your will. I want an emphasis on that. Like I want an emphasis on we not finna like let them come in our house like when last week is passed, but they not finna just come blow us out and make us look bad. Like in your opinion, what the Cowboys win because of what?
Dallas Cowboys will win because of four. Offensively, defensively, they will win because of Michael Parsons. And when there's a mismatch on the offensive line, Michael Parsons, you want to be the highest paid defensive player ever. I need you to go out there and take advantage of guys that you're better than. At the end of the day, we can talk about X's and O's, but sometimes you got to talk about the Jimmy and the Joes, man. Michael Parsons, if you are who you say you are, you should be able to take over a game against lackluster talent on the offensive line and get maybe not even get 4 or 5 sacks, but you can get 2. You can get multiple hits. You can get pressures. Dak Prescott, you are the MVP runner-up, and a lot of us in the nation feel like you should have won MVP last year, right? Because you on the numbers level, you had better numbers than Lamar Jackson. So I tell you what, when he comes to your crib and you're face to face with his defense, I need you to go out there and show that you are the better quarterback. I need you to make sure that you and CeeDee Lamb, take those layups. Because listen, I know they bracketed CeeDee Lamb last week. They also didn't have to worry about Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is going to be a full goal. It's going to be crazy trying to contain Jake Ferguson and double CeeDee Lamb in the middle of the field. Like shit get a little scary at that point. So Dak Prescott, use your weapons, lean on the guys that you trust. Listen, I know you didn't want to throw Jalen Brooks under the bus after what Tom Brady said. I know you say you want to keep his confidence in him. This ain't no Jalen Brooks game, man. This is a CD Lamb, Jake Ferguson game, man. You get to the guys that got you where you at, man. You get to the guys that got you that All Pro selection. That's how I really feel about this, man. If the Dallas Cowboys, he also talked about using his legs more. You know, that's something he came out being vocal about. Want to make plays out of the pocket, try to do more for the team. I don't want you to do too much, but that is an aspect of your game that has won us games in the past. You know what I'm saying? When Dak Prescott get out of the pocket and he's able to make plays, when he's able to throw on the run and break down the defense, like Dak Prescott elevates the entire team when that happens. So Dak, when you do take off running, protect yourself. When you do break the pocket, be looking for the big play down the field. But man, I believe in this team though, man. They got a good record of bouncing back. Shout to my boy Landlo from Alabama in the building, man. I see you. He said, "What's happening, y'all? Let's get the likes and support up." Yeah, man. Hey, make sure y'all hit the likes button, man. Make sure y'all hit the share button across all platforms. Make sure y'all hit those cash apps and those super chats, man. We in here rocking, man.
Yeah. Listen, if for my final say so, I just want to see a culmination of good. I want to change the narrative of my team. I can't want it for you. I wish I can still, be great enough to suit it up and go out there one more time, but I can't want it for you. I want a difference in mentality. Like bump the X's and O's, bump the stats, defense. Bad day in the office last week. Let's have a short memory. Let's come back out here. Let's refuse to be moved against our will. Whoever's in the spy like it ain't never been before. And we're going to do it, and do it 100,000 miles per hour. If we do it wrong, let Zim correct us. Let's go out there. Let's be instinctive. Let's be head driven. Let's go win this ball game, man. This is a much needed win right here. I'm telling you, if you want to convince me, you want to convince Cowboy Nation, I had this circle and the Niners. That's it. I bump the division, bump everybody else. These are the two games right here because these are the games they got. I'm gonna tell you, I know Harbaugh gonna have them guys ready. He gonna have them guys ready to come hit. They desperate. When you look a hungry dog in the face, how you respond? Are you gonna match his energy, or are you gonna fold under pressure? What I saw last week, you looked over him. You know what I'm saying? You doubted him, and you got styled up on him. It's not. Hey man, I can't even put in the words. Look, I can't want it for you. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat though. I'm gonna read a couple more when we're gonna get out of here. What the hell they sitting? Jordan, I mean, I didn't go over that, but do you want to give your your thoughts on? Because I say what I had to say on Jordan Phillips. Because
I mean, listen, Jordan Phillips was a third-string defensive tackle when we traded for him. There's a reason why a divisional foe traded him inside the division. They were not concerned about that man. They didn't think he could make a difference for their team or your team. That's why he got traded to Dallas. Now, I was hoping, because he had a couple flashes last year with the Bills, that we could get something out of him. But man, that man was getting pushed back 4-5 yards off the line of scrimmage, man. You can't win too many games like that. And listen, I don't even think the interior was your worst part. Like we said, a lot of the bigger plays came on the edge of your defense. But still, once you got down to the red zone, you can't get your defensive tackles pushed to the red zone, and then you finna make some damn stops. So Jordan Phillips, we appreciate you for trying. Chill. Kick back. Maybe get some performance enhancers or something while you on IR. Figure some shit out. But we'll try this again about 4-5 weeks, man.
Loafing, one word, loafing. Loafing is contagious. Loafing is a big no-no. That's what I saw from Jordan Phillips. He's not a leader, but he's a vet. And everyone knows when you have guys who are, they got the years they put in, they got the merit. When you see that from guys with the merit, what do you think that's what example do you think you're setting for the rest of the team that's also young?
Bad examples.
Bad example. It's contagious. Loafing is contagious. And I hope this was Zim call. Get that up out of my organization. What I saw. He's getting turned around, giving up, just wanting the basically the rep the end. I don't want that on my team, especially from the degree that you're like if it's a young guy doing it, okay, we can call him out. Like, but this is a guy who's he probably got more years than on some of these coaches. But I made all my money, but it's like I can't have that this week. You know what I'm saying?
I agree
So,
with you, man. And listen, you saw that they brought in a high effort guy to replace him too, right? Because say what you want, but you don't have to worry about him not at least trying. He's a high effort guy. He's gonna do everything he can. He may not be as talented as Jordan Phillips,
yeah.
but hard work beats talent when talent don't work. I was always told that, man. Hard work beat talent when talent don't work. Jordan Phillips is immensely talented. He ain't out that motherfucker working right now.
Yeah, so and him getting blown off the ball, you want to see how it affect the whole team? Like, yeah, he getting pancake. Yeah, we in film with the laser pointer. We kept calling him out. You getting blown off the ball, Kendra's like, okay, I'm finna, scrape on this play. I know it's a run play. What do you see like when he see his guy getting blown off the ball like that, like just passing the ball? Now his route is messed up. Do you see like how this is all affecting the whole team? Like our entire defense can't function with that type of effort. So yeah, he said NH watch. Yeah. Check out the video. Yeah, hey man, any more questions you go before we get out of here, y'all? Like we finna because I know it's noon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Landlord, man. I gotta hit him up too. I love the work y'all doing. I had West Coast about twice talking ball, but yeah, man. So big game. Well, I saw Linval Joseph wave. But Linval, he's like I seen some bad plays on Linval, but nah, what I seen from Jordan, that was
it was bad, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. I wish I was prepared and I can show y'all, but y'all can actually, if you do, check out Boss this week because Boss said he gonna go over the run plays with me because he gonna talk about who the run game was on. Was it the cornerbacks or was it the DTs? And I'm gonna be pointing. I hope he got them plays in there because I'm gonna definitely point them out. So yeah, shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all have a good y'all. If y'all going to the game, make sure y'all get loud. Wherever you watching from, make sure you like and subscribe, show love.
Hey, before we get out of here, man. Before we get out of here, I'm glad you brought up if you're going to the game.
Oh yeah.
If you're going to the game, slap the shit out of anybody trying to tell you to sit your ass down. We is not here to be spectators. We is not here to do any of that shit. We are here to be an advantage for the fucking team. Get loud on third down. Shut your stupid ass up when the offense is out there.
Yep.
Like, have some common fucking sense when you go out here to these games. And I wish a motherfucker would tell me to sit down at a game I done paid my money. If you can't see the game because of me, bitch ass nigga, get better seats.
Nah, you 100% correct. Especially at them prices, you got me all it's a certain dollar amount where you can't.
Damn, man. I feel like part owner of the stadium at this point.
What? I'm buying stock. How much? I'm actually the damn tickets and the drinks and everything like that. If you go and make sure you get loud. We ain't got too corporate in there. It's too quiet in there. I wish we was like when you go in a Superdome in New Orleans and they're all Definitely. Black. They got them dim lights. They didn't set the ambiance and everything like that. They didn't set it to where the Saints are coming to March. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we be like that? Why we got too corporate, man? We need to get loud and I don't know, like when we keep it cordial, but it's.
Man, we got them boys coming out the Dolly Parton, man. They ain't got the boys ready to play, man.
They had them. I mean, I don't know what they did last year. They had them at Big Extra Plug, but
it better still be Big Extra Plug. Then they need to spin the block. They need to play some old 3. They in Dallas, man. You better play some old 3. Play some Trap Boy Freddy. Play every gangster nigga in Dallas.
Because I'm trying to go.
I need to rub off on you.
Because I'm trying to go to that Houston game too. Because like we gonna definitely need it when we play the Texans. Because if it was the reverse way around, I best believe we gonna hear some some
Man, what?
we gonna have some steel tip and all that. Like so
Man, had zero come out.
so you 100% correct, man. Like,
Shoot.
hey man, we love all y'all, man. Shout out to Star. She's in the chat. She's close to 300. Make sure y'all go like and subscribe. Shout out to the entire Cowboy sphere, man. Yeah, they've been so humble, so welcoming. We are a team. We just trying. They hear us. We always say like your take matter, everything. They hear us, man. They hear us, man. So hey, man, we gonna let y'all enjoy y'all Saturday afternoon. Go Cowboys.